Will got on the show. You both
Yes.
auditioned. You did not. And then you came in 6 episodes before the end of the season. Somehow you came back on. That had to be weird. I mean, because you guys came up together. You all auditioned. You didn't get it. Then you did get it. I can't imagine that roller coaster ride.
It was a little bit like, oh, what happened? Well, I wasn't, how can I explain it? I was not there the night that Lauren went to the Growlings to see us perform. I happened to be out of town. Nobody knew he was coming.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like he was coming, and we already had auditioned for SNL. And so all of us were kind of in the same boat. It was me and Sherry and Will and Jennifer Coolidge as well. So we're like, all 4 of us were like, we didn't know what was going on. And our agents were like, I don't know the process. I think we'll hear yes or no or something sometime,
Mm-hmm.
at least before the season starts. And then I went back east, with my girlfriend, and we went back, and we just got the call. I was going out with Jennifer Coolidge at the time, and we went out. We went back east to visit her dad, and we just found out that Lauren was going to the Growlings. I was like, oh, we can't fly back. Well, and then they got the show, which was fine. I mean, then we watched the show, and then 6 episodes before the first season, Will called me, and he was like, do you want to join the show? I'm like, oh, he said, yeah, Lauren asked me to call you, and I like you to come on. And I was like, wow, my God, okay. Well, yes, obviously.
You know what, by the way, a ballsy move would have been have Lauren call me and just hang up the phone. That would have been ballsy.
Well, they both were like, obviously, wanting me to come on. Whatever. I don't know the process. So. But Will called me and asked, and Lauren said, would you like to come on? And so I went and moved that week into a hotel, and and this guy, a producer, Mike Shoemaker, who's one of the greatest guys, and he's one of the producers of Seth. He's a producer on Seth Meyers right now, and he was a producer back then on SNL, and he was like very helpful with like, okay, you're going to stay here, because I was like, I don't know what's going on.
Right?
How can I start on a week when there's a show happening this week? Because usually you start before the cast. I
don't remember. Has it ever been done since then? Do you know that answer, that anyone's ever been on mid-season, even towards the end of season replacements? I don't know.
Used to have mid-seasons replacements, but they would like kind of make it an announcement. This was just like, I just got right before the 6 shows before the end of the season. So that's never happened before.
So weird.
Yeah, but it was great news for me.
Right, it's amazing. And then your first character, which is one of my favorites, was that guy Sewell Forrester, who doesn't speak English, which I fucking love. That character. I've probably seen that episode so many times. It's so great.
It was good afternoon. I'm Sewell Marner. I'm gonna be your Saturday night.
So great.
What's funny is that on the cue cards, people are like, do you have lines or you make it up? But like, I actually do have lines on this.
They say like, follow me, just says that on the word.
To know when to talk.
So great.
I'm just going to go, whatever, which is not what I'm saying. I'm actually saying words, but it's just kind of like twisted. So you could just barely think it's a word.
Right.
But that was my first sketch on the show. And Lauren believed in me, and he was like, put it in, and it got great laughs in the dress rehearsal, and so it made it on air. So my first week that I was hired, it made it on the episode that I was on, and it didn't. I think everyone in the cast was kind of like, "What? Who's this guy?" All of a sudden.
That's my logical question, because you always hear these stories about how writing and new cast members, that there's like this tension of who gets sketches on the air and who doesn't. And here's this new guy showing up with 6 episodes left, and he gets his first bit on the air.
It wasn't tension. It was just like a little bit like, oh, I mean, I didn't feel it. Everyone was very nice. I mean, I already knew Molly because she was there was such a buzz about her, about doing Mary Catherine, and she was doing that, and she had her own show, I think, in Santa Monica. There's a great theater there that she did that. I heard about that. Like, other theaters would hear about other theaters, And so I knew when I got there, I was like, oh my God, Molly, it's just, you're amazing. And then of course, Will and Sherry, I knew. So them I knew. And it was, and everyone else was new to me. So, but everyone was really nice. I just think at the read through, it was just a little like, who's that's all. But everyone was super nice. I don't think there was like an announcement like, hey, we have a new. Maybe they did. Maybe
were you listed as a featured player or a cast member when you came on that week?
I was a featured player. I was a featured player. And then the next season I became a regular cast member.
Okay. And it's also, by the way, it's funny, like two of my favorite, I mean, there's so many sketches that you were in that I love, but both of them you play a army sergeant, and the other one is the one that got cut for time with Will as the prospector that seemed to have gone viral over the past few years, right? That one, for some reason, it found new life in the past few years.
It did. It's a really funny sketch. It's hilarious. And I think I had a hard time not being able to I was trying not to break.
I think you're the only one that doesn't break in that sketch, I think. Everyone breaks in that sketch.
Same with Cowbell. I'm trying not to break because Will's so funny and everyone else was breaking. So it's hard not to break. So, but I tried my best not to break. So that one, which is such a funny sketch, was cut for time. Do you have any sketches in your mind that you did that never made it? Or was cut for time? But it wasn't. There was a guy, there was a coffee guy who had to walk around with a coffee mug, not a mug, but a pot of coffee. I was like, Folgers, you ban, Folgers, and like I was just for coffee, and they're like, "How long you been up for?" "Oh, like 4 days."
Oh, that's great.
And I was like the coffee guy, and so that didn't. Whatever, it just didn't play well.
And let me ask you, because I, of course, obviously, I've only been to the show once. I got to watch the show record once in my life, which is amazing. And feel free not to dish with this statement, but very often you look and you feel like the guest hosts either want to play ball or they want to look cool, right? And a good example would be recently Harry Styles came on, and he just looked like he was cool. Amazing, though. He was great, right? He just seemed like
so good.
He wanted to play ball. He wanted to have fun. That's what he was there. Justin Timberlake would be another example of that, where someone I didn't really like, and then I see them, I'm now like, oh, I like this guy, right?
Yeah.
Were there either guest hosts in your tenure there that surprised you with how good they were, or surprised you with how unwilling to play ball they were? And feel free not to shit on anybody if you don't want to.
Well, I think everyone was willing to play ball for sure. Otherwise, they wouldn't be there. But
I don't know if that's true. I think
like Derek Jeter was really good. He was really. Oh, what am I talking about? The first time The Rock hosted was like, wow, this guy's so really good. Because at that time he was a wrestler, and he had all his wrestling friends and it was like, this guy's really good. And I think that
you're gonna make Shannon. You just made Shannon so happy. That is her male crush. It's also my male crush, if I'm being honest. But she's her favorite guy in the world is The Rock. So you just made her day.
You just good at everything.
Look at that. That fixed her posture, Chris. I don't know if you noticed that. You just said The Rock, and all of a sudden, any trace of scoliosis popped out of that son of a bitch. I've never seen anyone that was like Mount St. Helens in the 80s. Oh, my God. Look at you, kid.
Put that next to the turkey that Hadaway said.
Yeah, why not? We're coming up with products left and right, Chris. So then one of the, I don't mean to harp on SNL. We'll move along a little bit, but I was at like 3 years ago now, which I think probably one of the most iconic sketches of all time. You guys reunited for I Wish It Was Christmas Today on Jimmy Fallon. Was that ever released as a single, as a song, like actually to download and make money off of? And who wrote that song?
Horatio Sands wrote that song, and Jimmy joined on as the keyboardist, and then Tracy was just in the hallway. He jumped on, and then they were like, who's going to hold the keys? And they were like, how about Chris?
And the head twist the whole time. It just,
I was like that. So Tracy was like doing this. I said, well, I guess I'll do it like that. I don't know. You just make a choice. It's so interesting. Right. Like you just make a choice and you don't really think too hard about it. And everyone's like you just even remember that I did like that.
And then it's funny. You make a random choice, and then it's something that'll get analyzed by other comics for the next 25 years. Like I remember there's a great story with Paul McCartney, where someone asked him, "Oh, we noticed you changed basses midway through the song, and is that because the 10 this and that because of the string?" Like a very
Right.
and he goes, "No, the bass went out of tune. I grabbed the next bass, and that's what happened." Like, so very often is like what you just said. Well, he was doing this, so I said, "Fuck it, I'm going to do this," and that's what it turns into comedy gold.